Good afternoon. My name is Marcelo Padoca. I'm a Brazilian-born creative director, work at David&Goliath in LA. It's such an honor to be here today opening the KAKTUS Festival. So thanks so much, Ivana. Thanks so much, Alexandra. Thanks so much, all the organization. And of course, thanks so much for you guys for being here today. I want to start my presentation with a very simple but important question. How many of you here are afraid of flying? Please raise your hands. Okay, I feel better that I'm not the only one that feels uncomfortable when you are at 33,000 feet trapped in a giant piece of aluminum that I quite don't understand how it can fly. Of course, I know that flying is safer than driving, but that's the beauty about fear. Fear is irrational. Fear is a creation of our imagination. And I don't let this fear of flying take over my life. Otherwise, I would be here today. But when I'm flying, I need to find a way to put my brain on the airplane mode. And how do I do that? Watching bad movies. I need to watch really bad movies. And that's how I became a huge fan of this man, Michael Bay. If you ever seen one of his movies, it means you haven't seen them at all. Transformers, Pearl Harbor, Armageddon, they are all the same. And this is true. I counted like 50 explosions in each movie. Basically, you have good actors delivering bad performance. You have like the camera spinning around without no reason. And of course, you have like helicopters flying towards the sunset. But to be honest, I can blame the guy. I'd love to be like him. Imagine, he has access like to a huge budget. He only works in big productions. He also has access to the most of creative and talented people. But that's the problem. That's not part of my reality. And I believe it's not part of our reality here. Before moving to the West, I spent most of my career in Brazil. And Brazil is world famous for its creative work, but it's not world famous for having big budgets. Something that I believe it's similar here. So today I wanted to invite you guys to unlearn a lot of lessons that I've learned by watching Michael Bay movies. And the first thing I wanted to invite you guys to unlearn is money is the answer. What does it happen when you have all the money in the world? Just think about all those football players out there driving pink Porsches or green Ferraris, or even those like old guys dating young models, or all the explosions on the Michael Bay movies. Basically, when you have all the money in the world, you just want to show off. Most of the time, you don't have anything to say. You just want people to know that you have a lot of money and you can do whatever you want with this money. But the thing is, money is not the answer. And here's the answer. Amazing work is the answer. Clients have been cutting budget, like production budget, media budget, and agent fees. But there is something super simple that clients didn't realize yet, that an amazing idea can save them millions of dollars. Just think about this. With a little investment in media, you can get tons of earned media. But the thing is, most of the clients are not asking for those type of ideas. Just the smart ones. The smart ones, they realize that things has changed, and they want to be part of the culture. I want to share one idea here that was made in Buenos Aires. That's not the capital of Brazil. And basically, they spend like almost nothing. They just pay like for 2 tweets, but they are so brave. And I want you guys to take a look.
Competing with Sony, Samsung, and LG isn't easy. Even more if you are a small electronic manufacturer in Argentina. It's the World Cup year, and we needed to sell TV sets. So we took all our comms budget and bet it all on a sport result. One tweet.
Buy a 4K TV, and if Argentina doesn't qualify for Russia 2018, you get a total refund.
Good news, we sold all our TVs. Bad news, we sold all our TVs.
The biggest soccer star on the planet, Lionel Messi, may not be playing in the World Cup. Argentina had a zero margin for error.
Vos te comprabas la tele y si Argentina no clasificaba, no lo pagabas. Todo empezó como una muy buena campaña de marketing, pero ¿qué pasó? Argentina empezó a empatar.
Genuine danger of not going to Russia.
The Twitter community created hundreds of memes starring Noblex's CEO. It organically became a trending topic.
El tipo de Noblex. Sí. En este momento el tipo los tiene de corbata.
For the final match, we went double or nothing with the promo and brought the CEO to life through an account that would respond to trolls in real time. It started really bad.
And they're on the attack in the early stages. 40 seconds in. Argentina's world is falling apart.
And across the green, it's Messi! It's him! It's always Messi! Punches Argentina's ticket to Russia.
Genius! Nothing less than absolute genius! From the man from Argentina.
Solo argentino que está más feliz que todos nosotros. ¿Saben quién es? Messi. No, Messi no. El gerente de marketing de Noblex.
Pensamos en el gerente y en la empresa. ¿Qué pasaría?
Todo el mundo lo retuiteaba, todo el mundo pendiente de lo que pasaba. Fue la mejor estrategia de publicidad.
Here we go!
It's important. It's important for us to rethink our relationship with clients. It's easy for us to blame clients for everything, and also for clients to blame us for everything. But you need to understand that you're partners. We should share the same goals and same ambitions. And if it doesn't happen, maybe it's time to go apart. The client should have clear on his mind the type of agents he wants to work. And the agents should have in his mind the type of client he wants on his agents. Otherwise, you can't do work like this, because this takes a lot of trust. We need to trust. If you don't trust, then you don't do things like this. And also, again, this guy became famous, and he spent 2 tweets, and he got tons of earned media. I want to share something that happened last week. This guy, Kanye West, he just tweeted, McDonald's is my favorite restaurant. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but Kanye West has been going crazy. He's going crazy, going to, super close to Trump. He went to Saturday Night Live. He did a speech about how Trump is amazing. So basically, Burger King took the chance and replied Kanye West saying, explains a lot. Here's the guy. Having fun. And then my question is, how much did it cost? Nothing. I mean, it costed bravery, sense of humor, and a lot of sense of opportunity, but it was free. That's the thing, that's the point. Money is not the answer. Amazing work is the answer. This should be our focus. And this conversation was part of all those media outlets. Fox News, Forbes, Fast Company, Saturday Night Live. Now imagine how much Burger King would have to spend to be here. It was free. They didn't spend $1. It was free. So I know that money is a big problem especially here, like in a market that's a small market, but it doesn't mean that we can't dream. And I have a question for you guys. Do you believe you can win a Cannes Grand Prix spending less than $2,000? If you guys believe, please raise your hands. Okay, good. I want to share one idea. Again, it's super simple. It's super brave. There's nothing complex or crazy about this idea. And it's something that you guys could do it here. And was simple and costed less than $2,000. I think it costed like $1,100, something like that. And that's the idea.
The charity is called MACMA, M-A-C-M-A. They are based in Argentina. They wanted to avoid censorship because they wanted to have a video, put out the video where they can raise awareness about breast cancer and literally show women how they can examine their breasts. But they thought, how are we going to do that if we can't show breasts and nipples?
Women's boobs, particularly their nipples, are censored in certain social networks even when showing how to perform breast self-examinations to detect early breast cancer. But we found boobs that aren't censored. Henry's. Hello. Using your 3 middle fingers, press in a spiral from your armpit downward, going under the breast and covering its entire surface up to the nipple. Don't forget the armpit and upper pecs. If you feel any lump or irregularity, contact your gynecologist. Men can also contract breast cancer. Thank goodness that doesn't go for censorship. Share this video or make your own. All you need is a pair of man boobs.
During the first week, we reached 48 million views, 193 million impressions on social media, over 700,000 shares, and more than $17 million of earned media.
MACMA. Tetas por tetas. Man boobs. Yeah!
MACMA.
Hashtag tetas por tetas.
Hashtag man boobs for boobs. Trending.
The campaign was covered by media on every continent, and it sparked a debate about censorship policies on social platforms.
They not only overcame this ban, but they actually used it to their advantage to get more awareness around the issue.
Dann findet Facebook das voll cool. Wenn ich aber versuchen würde.
You think Instagram and Facebook's censorship rules are ridiculous.
Para algo de salud que es tan importante poder informarlo en las redes sociales.
Man boobs for boobs is the most shared breast self-examination video ever. Take that, censorship. MACMA.
Again, you could have all the money in the world, but if you're not brave enough to create and approve an idea like this, basically you're just throwing your money away. The second thing I want to invite you guys to unlearn today from my friend Michael Bay is follow a formula. Michael Bay has spent the last 20 years leading the box office. Like, his movies have made more than $2 billion. Just Steven Spielberg beats him. But that's the thing. Even though I've watched all Michael Bay movies, I can't remember any of them. But on the other hand, I can remember all Steven Spielberg's movies. And this should be the biggest fear at anyone working in the creative industry. Like, that's to be forgotten. Think about this. Consumers, they don't need advertising anymore. If they want to buy a car, or a shampoo, or a juice, whatever they want, they have Google. They go there and they put, okay, what's the perfect type of car for a family? They have Google. They don't need advertising anymore. But it doesn't mean advertising is dead. Advertising is changing, and you need to be part of this change. Advertising should be an experience you can share with your friends. And I have another example of a campaign that didn't follow formula. To be honest, they reinvented something super simple. They reinvented a straw.
So, here's the thing. On Friday nights in Korea, millennials enjoy getting together with friends. After drinks, any idea what they're looking for most? It's banana-flavored milk. You probably weren't thinking that, right? They drink banana-flavored milk to ward off a hangover. Whether it's when eating spicy food, enjoying a workout at the gym, or together on a date, they love their banana-flavored milk. However, when enjoying it with spicy food, at the gym, or on a date, they all drink it through that tiny little straw. Wouldn't it be nice to optimize it for each occasion? Good question. That's when we decided to reinvent the straw. We created the fire extinguisher straw for those spicy meals, the ringer straw for nursing that hangover, the icy straw to help cool down after a workout, and the love straw for when you want to keep things close. And when one straw is simply not enough, the multi-straw. 40,000 straws were produced and offered for sale on Korea's #1 shopping site. They all sold out in 3 hours. The campaign videos collectively earned over 40 million views, an impressive number, considering the population of Korea is only 50 million. This was only the beginning. Soon, fans were taking to social media with their own take on using the straws. The fan-made videos garnered more than 7 million organic views, with many of those inventing their own versions, suggesting that the brand make those too, which all led to a sharp rise in sales of banana-flavored milk. Go ahead, admit it. You know you want to try one too. Banana-flavored milk.
When you break formulas, something amazing happens. You became the first one to do something. And I think this should be in everyone's mindset. Be the first one to fill the blank, whatever. Be the first one to send a chicken to space. Be the first one to hack Google Home. But try to be the first. But be the first comes at a price. Most of people are afraid of being the first. I can tell. I'm the first one to step on this stage, and I'm afraid. I want to share another idea, and what I love about it, they broke all the rules. Basically, the client spent a lot of money in research, they changed their product, and they asked the agents, what should we do? And the agent said, nothing. So they start to break a very important formula or rule here that we should say more no to our clients. We should help them. And that's the idea.
When companies spend millions on research and development and years working to make one of their products better for you, they like to use every marketing trick in the book. But when it comes to a beloved food icon that Americans have happily devoured for 80 years, any change can be perceived as sacrilege. We knew that once our fans heard Kraft Mac and Cheese had changed its recipe, they'd swear they could taste a difference, which is why we asked Kraft to conduct the largest blind taste test in history. We convinced Kraft to sell the new recipe in their old boxes without any ads or hype about the better ingredients.
Unless people are looking at the ingredient label, they wouldn't know that we've changed the recipe.
That's right. An ad agency told a client not to advertise.
This is the biggest thing we've ever done, and nothing would make me happier than having nobody notice.
Kraft monitored social media as the change went undetected by millions of Americans. Then we announced the results.
For the past 3 months, we've been quietly selling Kraft macaroni and cheese with no artificial flavors, preservatives, or dyes. And guess what? Moms didn't notice. Kids didn't notice. Dogs didn't notice.
Kraft claims you can't taste the difference, and they can prove you can't taste the difference because they changed this recipe 3 months ago, and they've now sold over 50 million boxes of the new recipe without people noticing.
Chatter about the change soared overnight, and the campaign had 200 million impressions by the time the first primetime ad ran. Because for the first time in history, a brand launched a better-for-you product with the hope no one would notice. And for 3 whole months, nobody did.
Earlier this year, we started selling Kraft mac and cheese with no artificial flavors, preservatives, or dyes.
Mommy has more than me. Do not. Do two. Do not. Do two. Do not. Do two. Do two. Do two.
But nothing's really changed.
Do two. Do two.
Yeah, that's that's pretty bold to ask the client to spend a lot of money and then say, okay, now don't do anything. The next thing I want you guys to unlearn from Michael Bay is be a hero. On Michael Bay movies, everyone is a hero. You can be a teenager and you can defeat a giant robot. Doesn't matter. Everyone is a hero. And the problem with heroes is they're perfect. They know what to do. They know what to say. They are so great and perfect. And they love to tell people how they should live their lives. And it's exactly how a lot of brands do. Imagine all those manifestos out there saying, quit your job, follow your dreams, live your life, do whatever you want. The problem here is like brands are selling themselves put on the same level as heroes. Brands think they are perfect, but it's hard to create emotional connection when someone is telling you how you should live their lives and they don't even know you. It's very important to brands to understand they need to be more human. They can't be like that. They can't be doing research and telling like to a single mom how they should live their life. It's really tough. So the importance of brands to be more human is to create this connection. That's because it's important to brands to learn how to fail, to make fun of it, and to say sorry.
It is a humiliating sight for one of the country's biggest food brands.
Hundreds of Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurants across the UK were forced to shut down over the weekend.
The fast food giant blaming teething problems with a new delivery contract.
So they agreed to deliver chicken without having a distribution centre.
They had a distribution centre, but it wasn't up and running.
All the chicken, there's farmers, surely there's enough chicken.
Really am disappointed. I'm mad at KFC.
I've had to go to Burger King.
Fuck. We're sorry. A chicken restaurant without chicken is not ideal. Huge apologies to our customers, especially those who travelled out of their way to find we were closed. And endless thanks to our KFC team members and franchise partners for working tirelessly to improve the situation. It's been a hell of a week, but we're making progress, and every day more and more fresh chicken is being delivered to our restaurants. Thank you for bearing with us. Visit kfc.co.uk/crosstheroad for details about your local restaurant.
KFC today printed an apology in a couple of newspapers. Have a look at what they did to their logo.
This full-page ad, see how it scrambles KFC.
How would they avert such a terrible PR situation?
I do appreciate the apology.
Yeah, for those of you who think print is dead, I think like better years are dead, but it's a print. It's like traditional print. I think they spend nothing to create this. The first thing I want to invite you guys to unlearn is, if you're not like us, you're against us. On Michael Bay, all it takes for you to be the enemy is to be different. And it doesn't matter if you're an alien, a robot, a Japanese guy, or a Mexican guy. If you're different, you're in trouble. Now, I don't need to say how different is important in advertising, because creativity is basically do things in a different way. My point here is us as an industry, you have like so much power in our hands. And doesn't matter if you're a junior team or a CCO, we should be responsible for the message we put out there. I know most of clients would say, the message we want to put out there is, my product is the best, buy it, do something, I'm gonna change your life. But that's not the point. We have the chance here to change the world for better. And again, to have emotional connection with people. It's on our hands to use our power to help girls to have more confidence. It's on our hands to stand up for something, to make the world better, to celebrate diversity and acceptance. Especially the world you're living right now, I think it's more important than ever to use our power for better. I want to share another idea here that helps people to understand the gap between the money women make and men.
Peru is the Latin American country with the highest wage gap between men and women. That gap is 29.2%. Scotiabank, one of the most important banks in the country, decided that it could help draw attention to this problem. That is why, on International Women's Day, Scotiabank went beyond simply giving a message of hope to becoming part of the change. Scotiabank presents the price of equality. On March 8th, we changed the prices of products and services from our affiliated stores all around the country. So when our female clients bought them, the products and services cost 29.2% less. A special percentage discount was given to all our female clients to illustrate the wage gap that continues to exist in Peru today. To illustrate wage inequality, we made prices fair to women. We printed Peruvian bills that showed a face amount of 29.2% less than normal to raise awareness of women's lower income compared with men's income. In only 24 hours, we got incredible results. We had an impact on more than 7 million people. Millions of people became aware of the gender wage gap. This campaign achieved an average of 1,600% more shares than competitors' campaigns. We increased purchases with Scotiabank cards by 95%.
Esta campaña es una campaña para generar conciencia, para sensibilizar de que existen diferencias que no son justas y que hay que tomar acción sobre ellas.
Most importantly, on that day, women not only paid a lower price than men, but the Peruvian Congress also approved a law on wage equality, specifying that women should earn the same as men. The price of equality.
I'm lucky enough to work in a place that walks the talk. And a few years ago, David&Goliath has started a non-profit organization called Today I'm Brave. So basically, they encourage people to overcome their fears, and they help underprivileged people to find a way to strive on the world. For Today I'm Brave, basically, you get part of our products as agents, and you put the money in here. Also, the work we do for Today I'm Brave, we don't submit to award shows. It's not our goal to win a Cannes Lion. The goal here is to really help people. Last year, we did a campaign to help to build a school in Africa. We partnered with a local non-profit organization called Shainan Sierra Leone, and that's what we did for them.
Good morning, it is 5 in the morning and we are taking the daily journey that our secondary school students take to their current secondary school.
School is very amazing, really.
This to me is epic. It's like extraordinary. To me, I see this not just going in Sierra Leone, this can probably go all over Africa.
Yeah, again, like, we didn't spend any money doing this. We had this idea, people like it, we found the partners, and we make it real, because it doesn't make sense to take money away from kids' education to do advertising. It doesn't work that way. The last thing I want you guys to unlearn from Michael Bay, it's overcomplicating stuff. Yeah, we had so much hope and this guy didn't work. Michael Bay, action movies, they're not well known for being complex or complicated, but Michael Bay does that. He makes everything so complicated. Have cameras spinning around, explosions, like you can't quite understand what's going on. And to be honest, you get a little bored because it's like it's too much. But there's a reason why he does that. He doesn't have anything to say or show. So it's basically, I'm gonna trick you. I'm gonna make it so complicated, they're gonna think, okay, should be something here, but it's bullshit. And this happens in advertising a lot. Every time you get like a 10 pages briefing, like it's bullshit. Or every time you see a 30-second TV spot trying to explain the meaning of life, or a 30-second TV spot telling people 5 messages, it's crazy. People are not paying attention in 1 message, and then you want them to pay attention in 5 messages. It's crazy. To do amazing work, we need to simplify stuff. We need to make everything simple. And I truly believe on this. One-line briefing. I think the best briefings I ever worked on, they just had 1 sentence, just 1 line, because it makes clear to everybody what the goal is. I want to share a work that I did when I was working at the community in Miami for the city of Buenos Aires. That was the briefing we got from that. Buenos Aires has a new 24/7 bicycle system. That was the briefing, simple like that. They didn't want to tell people that it's good for our body, it's good for our mind. No, people already know that. They just want to inform people that now you can keep riding forever if you want. My partner and I spent 3 months trying to come up with something simple, and we couldn't. Then you had this conversation, said, we should create something that is straightforward and that's funny as riding a bicycle. And then you went back to this briefing and you realized something that's pretty obvious. What it's saying here is basically like Buenos Aires now has a non-stop bicycle system. You can keep riding forever. And when you realize this, super simple, we had this idea. we create this eternal chase between characters that you know that you never like reach each other, like a dog chasing his tail. And again, the concept comes out for the one-line briefing, never stop writing. And the tagline is like, Buenos Aires public bike system now runs 24/7. It's the briefing. The briefing's here. We presented to the city. They love it. And they said, OK, let's do it. And you said, no, it's not done yet. And the guy said, look, we don't have money. We don't have any money for this idea. And you ask the guys, OK, give us something. We can ask people to work for free. We really love this idea. We know it has a lot of potential, but we need to work in the craft. You need to work in the execution. And they said, OK, you guys have $1,500 to produce 4 images. And OK, better than nothing. And then you start looking for the best illustrator we could find. We're looking as if you had like $1 million to produce this campaign. Because that's the thing. When you have a great idea, people have a reason to work for you. They want to do something meaningful. Going back to Michael Bay, could you imagine someone work for him for free to do Transformers? I can't. But I can see a lot of actors or producers working, not for free, but for less money on a project that they really believe, an idea that they really believe. Because when you don't have a good idea, we should have a lot of money, because that's the reason why people want to work for you. It's for the money. They said, OK, you know, I don't care. This will pay for my vacation. But when you don't have both, then it's impossible to produce a great work. Then you have a problem. Then you should go back home and cry, I don't know. And then we finally found a guy, an amazing artist called Arthur Daraújo. And you had a call with him and said, man, we don't have money. I know you deserve more, but it's all you have. And said, guys, I love it. I want to work in it. So basically, this guy turned this into this. And this campaign went viral. Again, it's a print campaign. People are talking about this from Buenos Aires to China, all over the place. For the first time in my career, I had Archive magazine calling us and ask, guys, could you please send the Buenos Aires bicycle campaign for us? And this has never happened. If you guys know Archive magazine, usually you submit your work and you wait and you pray, because you don't know what's going to happen. This campaign is a great example of how to win a Cannes Grand Prix for $1,500. We won a Cannes Grand Prix for this a few years ago. And again, like, I think most of the ideas I share with you guys, you could do it here. There is no excuse. They don't cost a lot of money. They don't involve like huge productions. It's not like a blockbuster, but you guys can do it. If you believe it, you can do it here. And I think that's the most important thing. Keep it simple, clever, and make it really beautiful. Because don't forget, guys, at the end of the day, craft is love. And if you love your idea, you're going to take care of it. You're going to take it to the next level. Because the Beatles were right. Money can buy me love. Thank you.